Good morning. This is Dylan Jovenel behind the market. Happy Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, June 10th. So what is SpaceX really worth? Somebody thought to ask the Dean of Valuation, professor of corporate finance at NYU School of Business, Stern School of Business, Aswath Damodaran. And they asked him, what is it worth? Now, this is a guy who's written dozens textbooks on investment valuation, on theories. Well, again, he's earned the title, the Dean of Valuation. He's a smart guy, obviously, a serious man who spent his life teaching and studying this very important issue. And he's consulted with a lot of experts. So anyway, they asked him. Now, we know SpaceX is going public at $1.77 trillion. That's the valuation. And he estimates the equity value of the company at around $1.3 trillion. And he brings up a good point I thought worth sharing with you. He says it comes down to the AI business. In its paperwork, Musk said that XAI, which is Twitter and Grok, and is losing billions and billions of dollars, he said that business had a $26 trillion total, $26 trillion. These numbers are almost ridiculous, but a $26 trillion total addressable market, meaning revenue opportunity. And given that he didn't find that to be incredibly plausible, given that the company's competing with Claude, ChatGPT, Google, Meta, whoever else. It's not likely that XAI, that their AI unit, SpaceX's AI unit, will be worth so much, will capture that big of a slice of that pie. But look, like I said the other day when asked, should I buy SpaceX, should I not? Look, the company may be overvalued. And the professor said this himself. Doesn't mean it's going to underperform, though. It could really soar. There's going to be a lot of trading activity happening around this stock. This has been a proper promotion, concerted promotion. It's really fascinating. And I'll tell you a quick story. It's a lot of crowd psychology at play here. I'll tell you a quick story. When I started to make a little bit of money on Wall Street, I thought I was such a big shot. So I take this girl I'm dating. I say, hey, you want to go to Cancun for the weekend? I'm going to show you how cool I am. So we go to Cancun. I was young. Don't hold it against me, okay? So we go to Cancun. And I remember I see the sign that says there's a free lunch. A free lunch. Come on in. And I was like, look, they know how important I am. Of course. Yes, I should get this free lunch. So I don't know what made me sign up for it. So obviously I go in and sign up for this free lunch. And I learned there's no such thing as a free lunch because it was a timeshare pitch. And here's what it looked like. There was a room, like 30 people in it, couples, and people selling them. And we're getting the pitch. And every time somebody agrees to buy a timeshare, they're ringing a bell and everybody starts clapping. And I was just astonished. I had never seen anything like this. All these crowd dynamics at play. And all of a sudden, somebody over there at the other side of the room would buy, and everybody would cheer, and the confetti and the bells going off, and everybody's clapping. And then somebody in front of me would be like, you know what? I'm going to do it too. And you saw the crowd dynamics at play, the psychology of a crowd. That was really an eye-opening experience for me on Wall Street because I started to realize that crowd psychology, the mass psychology of crowds, was an actual real thing. I didn't really understand that. Suffice it to say, I've never accepted. It was hard for us to escape, okay? Boy, oh boy, it was hard for us to escape. And I never accepted another invitation to a free lunch ever again. I walk right past those things now. I don't know if you've ever experienced that yourself, but it wasn't the most fun experience I've had. My point is this, in the subsequent years, I have seen that play out on large scales, national scales, global scales. You see a bunch of dynamics going on. When everybody's attention is pinned on a story, is fixed on a story, the participants that have an interest in keeping that story alive and active and going, they'll send out proxies, they'll do interviews. Everybody wants to touch this. So you have people like Jamie Dimon interviewing him. You have Ron Barron on CNBC. Everybody wants to talk about it because everybody's interested in it. And you have this mass psychology going on here. Now, we saw this I remember very famously after 9/11, when the Bush campaign did that 1 year marketing lead up to the Iraq war, which had very little support. And then they just, over a year, they got all their proxies out on news shows. They talked it up. They ginned it up. They got it ready. The UN, the Congress, blah, blah, blah. And then there was the Iraq war. And, you saw it with Bitcoin. First of all, the real estate market. You saw it with the real estate market. It was just crazy. Everybody was happy. It was this kind of virtuous cycle. The mortgage underwriters were thrilled. The real estate salespeople were thrilled. The homeowners were thrilled. The Wall Street banks were thrilled. They were getting yield. Everybody around the circle was happy. Everybody. The people who bought the house was happy because prices kept going up. So everybody felt a little rich. They're spending a little extra money. So all around that circle was very happy. And when a circle like that, it becomes this positive reinforcing cycle that radiates outward. Again, you buy more things, you take the wife on a trip, you buy the kid the new shoes or whatever it is. But you got a lot of very shiny, happy people. And that creates its self-fulfilling prophecy. Again, we saw it with the cannabis stocks. It became the biggest thing in the world. And there's a lot of people interested in keeping that story going. But again, you could invest $1 trillion in the cannabis industry. Doesn't mean you're going to make that money back. They overinvested. Bitcoin. Remember Bitcoin. Talk about a mass delusion for a very, very long period of time. But that's the other thing about mass delusions. They can last for a long time. History has proven that. You have this thing, it's a currency. Oh, no, it's not currency anymore. It's gold. Oh, maybe it's not gold anymore. And they don't realize, a lot of the participants in that stablecoins are a real thing, real valuable thing. Certainly blockchain's a real thing. But a lot of these people that are still coin diehards, they don't realize that Trump's Genius Act really kind of kills the use case for Bitcoin and really makes stable coins a real dollar-based transaction. A lot of those people seem to be having a hard time wrapping their head around, which is why all these mining companies are moving into AI and power and all that other stuff. My point is that when you see a concerted effort by an organization, which in this case, the prime mover is Elon Musk, and the banks promoting this, and the investors, they have a big interest. So you're watching millions of people watching this, and they're all being told, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Consistent messaging. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Another thing they're being told, they're being reminded that Tesla made millionaires, the Tesla millionaires. But remember something, Tesla did make, obviously, a lot of millionaires, huge, huge winner. But Tesla did not come out fully valued or overvalued, perhaps. Tesla came out like the redheaded stepchild, no offense, but it was like a moderate valuation. Back then, you had much more moderate valuations because companies didn't stay private as long. Now, nobody wants to go public because it's such a burden pain in the butt with all the regulations and the lawyers, and you miss quarterly earnings and you get 500 lawsuits. It's insane. So now they stay private a lot longer. They mature a lot longer. So a lot of that Tesla millionaire value was captured by SpaceX investors earlier in the private markets. Am I saying SpaceX won't go up 10x over the next 20 years? I can't imagine it going 10x in the next year. It'd be insane. Look, anything's possible. Who knows? But do I see SpaceX trading higher? There's a lot of momentum, like I just described to you. Millions of people have been told, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. Tesla millionaires. Elon's a genius. This is going to be great. It's space. It's this. It's that. It's this. And you can actually, and what I'd like you to do as a member behind the markets, what I'm trying to teach you, and I'm actually talking to my kids about this with propaganda, really so they don't get their little minds influenced too much. I'm really trying to teach them how to do what I learned at that silly timeshare thing, where all of a sudden I removed myself from it and I looked at the whole game like in third person, like it was having an outer body experience and just watching it happen. And I was like, look at this. Isn't this something? So I'd like you to do that. I'd like you to today to actually just step back and look at the game, realize what is happening, realize the participants, this positive circle, Musk, the bankers, the early investors, the people that work there who are going to make a ton of money. all those people are happy. Everybody's radiating outwards. They're all singing and doing a chorus, saying how great it's been, how great it's looking, how great it's going. So again, should you or shouldn't you buy a SpaceX? I'm going to discuss that in tomorrow, the next day. I'll go over how IPOs perform, generally speaking, shortly after, and how some smart people trade them. But I want you to understand the inside baseball here. Step away and realize the kind of mass hypnotic crowd propaganda frenzy that is happening right now. So at least you could look at it from the outside for a minute and just see what is going on, because it is fascinating and you don't see something this well done very often. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.